Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to your life path reading for September 2021 with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So a quick note about these readings, the way that they're structured. I put out my first set of these last month and I realized that everybody kind of got lost in the melee. So let me explain to you how they're going to go. The first part of this video is going to be a general overview because we're looking at the universal month that all of us are existing under. Don't skip this because it's going to provide you an important context of how this fits into your personal life path reading, and more importantly, how this energy is going to affect you. And then I will go into what kind of energies and themes you can expect specifically for your life path number. So this first part in the beginning, yes, it's going to be the same for all videos, but you need to watch this because it's going to provide you that important backdrop to the entire painting of your life, let's say. All right, so this month, September, is a universal month 5, right? So 5 is fast, it's dynamic, it's passionate, it's very avant-garde in a lot of ways, and it's very much about being present. It's about being here in the now. It's about being embodied in your physical self, living through the senses, through what you can see, through what you can touch, through what you can taste, hear, smell, right? So this is a great month to stimulate and nourish your soul through your senses, whether that's eating good food, having good sex, buying yourself a really wonderful set of bed sheets that just feel so comfortable and zhuzhy, whether this is buying yourself an amazing glass of wine or a dress or a pair of trousers that fit really well. This is a very embodied energy. It's a very physical, a very sensual nature and sensual energy. Now, the number 5, when we talk about sensual, yes, it can be sensuality, sexuality, all of that. But when we talk about sensual, we're talking about the 5 senses of the body. Anything that stimulates those, anything that nourishes your soul through those energies is going to be highly favored for you and highly sought after by a lot of people this month. So I've got my trusty notes here as well. This is the number of energy, passion, vibrancy. It's also the number of travel. It's the number of freedom and liberation, right? So these are all things that people are going to be a lot more interested in this month, which makes total sense to me. What I will say as well, we might see this or talks about these kinds of things on the wider world situation. So we might see people, maybe the people are demanding more freedom, or maybe a revision of the rules, or, different ideas or ways of doing things when it comes to those things. I also feel like as well, we're going to see some sort of development in the travel world. I've been talking about this a lot this year in general, and not just because of the pandemic, but because of the way that things are moving in general. So that being said, 5 is also very technical, right? It's dynamic, it's advancing, it's liberating, it's confrontational and even competitive. So you might find that these are energies that you come up against in the world in some way, shape or form. You might find that the way that people approach things are more competitive than usual. Even people that you kind of know aren't really that way inclined will have that kind of edge to them where they want to get ahead, they want to push ahead, they want to bring things, maybe new things into the fore. So I diverge from the usual planetary associations to the number 5. So a lot of people postulate that it's not, but for me 5 is very mercurial and very Uranian. A lot of people postulate that the number 4 is Uranus ruled, and that doesn't sit right with me. And the beauty of these systems is you can change and adapt them to the ways that they speak to you. 5 is technical, it's advancing, it's freedom loving, it's liberation, it's travel and movement. Those sound like Mercury and Uranus to me. They don't sound like Saturn. They don't sound like, anyway, that's a debate for a whole other day. But that being said, those for me are the ruling planetary energies for this number. Now, This month is definitely going to pack a bit more of a punch. Why? 2021 itself is a 5-year. This month is a universal month 5. So we're all under this double hit of this 5 energy. So this energy of competition, this energy of needing to get ahead, this energy of being physically stimulated in some way, shape or form is going to be really heightened. You might find that the anxiety, if you suffer from anxiety, I know I do, if you have that kind of thing, this month you might find that it's kind of through the roof. You might find that it's more pervasive than usual. And if that is the case, I invite you to do something physical, do something with your body, jump, dance, right? Go running, go to the gym, have sex with your partner, have sex with a random stranger if you want to. Yeah, I don't condone promiscuity, but you get my point. This is all about utilizing your body and letting your body lead the way. It's not so much about sitting down and planning. All of that was last month with the 4 energy. We're in a 5 month now. This is about doing. It's about action. It's about movement and passion and desire. Now, I will say to you as well, if you've got something to start this month, I would say that it's actually kind of highly favored or blessed. There's a feeling this month that even though it is the 5 energy, which isn't necessarily known for sticking around or sticking to things, there's a sense that the way that this month combines with the overall energy of the year, if you start something this month, it has a lot more it has a lot more chance of success. And I believe that's because we've got the sun in Virgo this month. We've also got, mostly in Virgo this month, we've also got Mercury in his home sign where he's happy, but then he's going to dip into Libra. So he's going from a sign where he's exalted and then moving into a sign that he actually does well in because it's a fellow air sign. So in a lot of ways, and yes, Mercury is going to go retrograde this month, but in a lot of ways I actually feel like this is quite a beneficial month for starting new projects, certainly ones that you want to start with a bang so that you can, you know, make as much headway as possible. The way that I'm seeing this in my mind, it's kind of like, you know, the swimmers, when they get to the end and they flip over and they kick off of the thing, like the more kick you get from that wall, the less energy you kind of waste swimming, right? And then once you feel yourself slowing down, then you can get into it. It kind of feels like that to me. So this is a month, like I said, for action, interact rather than plan. What I will say as well, speaking of doing, get physical. Dance, jump, run, skip, you know, like I said, all of those things. It is an energy to liberate yourself in some way, shape or form. So if there's something or someone or a connection of some sort that's been bogging you down, this month it will feel even more stifling, and this can create that kind of, you know what, I'm out, right? So just be aware that this energy is floating around so that you can find a way to manage it. Now, this is also a number that makes people a lot more passionate and a lot more vocal. It also sees people wanting more fun, right? So if you see people being more hedonistic than usual, it wouldn't surprise me at all, actually. So just be aware that that might be an energy around. Characteristics of this number: powerful, vibrant, energetic, sexual, sensual, and materially charged, right? So if you find that, you know, you yourself want to consume more, find a way to do that and the reason being is, it's like, give me sensation. And if you don't give me sensation, I will find everything to fill that need for sensation, and I will grab it and I will hold on to it. And so I invite you this month, if you feel yourself feeling like, I've got to spend money, or I've got to do this, I've got to do that, feed your soul with something sensual, with this, you know, with your hands. It doesn't just have to be, because 5 is the number of sex, drugs and rock and roll, as they say. And it doesn't have to be those things, although it can be very escapist, and when it runs away with itself, it can really run away with itself. So this is why I say, be in your body and feed it and nourish it through the senses this month, and that will tap you into this energy and have you using it right. All right, so what else have I got here? Things that you need to look at. Are your plans too rigid? Do they need to evolve? Are you living your life to the fullest? Are you really sucking the marrow out of the bones, as it were? That is 5 energy. It lives to be bold, to be dynamic, but to connect to everything and anyone properly, right? To be present in the physical self, to be present in the moment is a very 5 energy. Live, laugh, have sex, eat good food. One thing that I will say with 5 energy as well, connect to as many different people as you possibly can, whether this is people overseas, whether it's from people from different backgrounds, different religions, different everything. The more stimulus you have that is different from your everyday routine, the better. And this month, create new routines. If you know something is outdated, outmoded, or just outworn, get rid of it. All right, that really is the best way for you to get ahead this month. What I like to say to people as well, easy ways to utilize this energy: cook from a different continent every other day. You know, one day you're cooking Chinese, the next you're cooking South African, then Greek, Italian. Like, literally just switch it up and keep switching it up. That will help alleviate some of this, restless tension, as will the physical stuff, right? So get doing something. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Stick around for your personal life path reading and we will get into it. Take care and I'll see you in a moment. Hello, you wonderful life path 4 person you. Let's get straight into it. So this month for you is a month of endings, completions, culminations, but you're going to be really proactive about these things, right? So the way that these energies combine, this suggests to me that this is going to be a month where things are happening a little bit faster than you are used to, or maybe that you like or you are into, especially because 5 is, it's the response to your own energy. So you are somewhat not off-put by this energy, but you can be a little bit perturbed by it because it's like, okay, this is different. But you're going to be really proactive this month. It's going to give you a lot of energy. Now, you already have a lot of determination. If you apply the energy of the 5 to that determination, it becomes true powerhouse energy. So I think this is going to be a good month for you in that regard. In a lot of ways, you might find it hard to keep up with a lot of the changes that take place this month, but that doesn't mean that you can't succeed or excel. Keep that in mind, right? So one of the things that I will say to you as well, one of the ways you can alleviate this is to make changes yourself. 5 energy will bring change into your life whether you want it or not. And in a lot of ways, this basically says to you, either it's kind of like, because this number is kind of ruled by Uranus as well. And I always liken Uranus to the energy of jump or I'm going to push you. Either which way, it's kind of like being on the diving board, right? Either way, you're going down. You're either going to do it of your own volition or I'm going to push you and you're going to go jump, kicking and screaming in the air like, me being me, I would be the proactive one and just do the jump. But I'm an Aquarius, so me. All right. Lead the changes, right? Rather than having them forced on you. What I would also consider is this a month to wrap things up. If you know there are things that need to be completed, if you know there are things that need to be tied up, usually you like to do this and take your time, right? It would be almost like you're saying to yourself, yes, right, I need to do this, I've got my plan. Usually you even know how long things are going to take you to wrap up. You don't have that luxury this month. Like, all of your plans are being moved up, and you're just going to have to find a way to keep up with that. It's a good month to donate old clothes or items, things that you don't use anymore. Or even a better month to throw out old paperwork. So whenever I have this kind of energy come up for me, I will go through all of my old paperwork. I will go through the house, with the proverbial black bag and just start throwing things. Have you used it in 6 months? Do you need it? Is it just taking up space? Get rid of it, right? This is a really good month to do that kind of thing. What I will say to you is, because of the way these energies combine for you, anything that you can either repurpose or give to somebody or donate is much better than just throwing it out, right? Now, if you're in a relationship this month, when it comes to love, if you're in a relationship this month, you'll feel the need to be more independent. You might find the need to get to the bottom of challenges with a partner. So you will probably find yourself needing, like, we've been having this issue, we don't agree about this, we need to find out why. What is the sticking point here? And you will be more proactive about fixing it, finishing it, completing it than normal, which I think is actually a really good thing. Now, to mend rifts and not to make them is the game of this month, right? That's how you win this month when it comes to relationships and partnerships. May also be a month where you're having an awareness of your own emotional ups and downs could be vital as a part of ensuring that this month goes smoothly and that you can release any issues. So emotionally this month, which is quite rare for you guys because you're quite stoic by nature, you might find though that this month you're very aware that your emotional ups and downs are quite sort of, you know, the highs are going to be great, the lows are going to be just as great. Something to consider. You do want deeper connection from your partner this month, and if it's not given or they don't have time, you could feel that quite deeply, and you won't be very quiet about it either. If you're single, it's going to be the sexy, vibrant, energetic ones, the ones that are kind of the opposite to you. This is definitely a month where opposites attract in love. Like, you could really find yourself feeling drawn to somebody that is kind of like the antithesis of you. But I think that's a good thing. You know, I think this month, those are going to be the things that really excite you. So even if it's just for a couple of dates, that could be a wonderful energy to utilize and to allow to rub off on you or up against you. Have fun, you know, be sensual, sexual. All of those things this month are going to be getting everybody's attention anyway, as I talked about in the first part of the video. I would say get ahead of it, right? Be on the front foot for that stuff this month. Now, when it comes to money, this month you're going to be tempted to overspend. It won't be for mindless purchases though. Like, if you're overspending this month, it will be for things that have a purpose, things that you know you're going to get something out of, or that you know are going to last, which is great. It's usually that you're going to, so the way these energies combine as well, you will be feeling a lot more generous than normal. Usually, like, even if life path 4 people are feeling generous, they're like, okay, what can I sensibly give? You know, what is going to work, right? Because you're all about integrity. This month, that could kind of go out the window and you're just like, no, they said they needed it. Where's the credit card? So just be aware that that's around. Find other ways to spoil people this month that don't cost a thing. Cook them a nice meal. Give them a good hug that lasts 10, 15, 20 or 35 seconds longer than normal if you're me. I'm that person. Like, you know, most people, like, when they hug you, it's kind of like a, and then it's like, get off me. I'm that person, that annoying person that will hug you for ages. Just because, right? So if there is something beautiful that you just have to have, consider buyer's remorse. But you need to ask yourself, is it something that you want or is it something that you need? And more importantly, if it's yes, figure out which category of those it falls into, but ask yourself, is this trying to fulfill a different need? That kind of energy is going to be floating around for all of us this month. All right, when it comes to work, you might find that the biggest draw this month for you is the desire to improve things for everyone. You won't be shy about doing this. And you probably be making more plans this month than, because you're planners anyway, it's what you do, right? It's written into who you are. But this month you might find that your plans are a bit bolder and bigger than they usually are, which I actually really love. You're very sharp and intelligent anyway, but this month even more so, and you really care about getting shit done. Like, you will be so proactive about seeing things to completion, getting things complete, meeting deadlines. Like, you will want more of that, but you'll also want more flexibility as well. And you might find that there's an added flair that comes out this month that people won't necessarily know you for, which is great. This is a month to do your best to reach reconciliation and forgiveness for a lot of you. If you work for yourself, ask around at how others are feeling and what they feel that they might need. Paying attention to that stuff this month could be really, really good. There's a need to work on your service to the world this month, and you know, whatever it is that brings you into that humanitarian streak, or in touch with it at least, will really help. Best steps: get out into nature, spend time in beautiful settings. If that's not nature for you, that's fine, because you know, I realize I say this a lot: get out into the natural world. You know, some people just don't like nature, which is fine. If it's beautiful architecture, if it's going to a museum, if it's going to view, you know, beautiful places that you deem to be beautiful. It doesn't always have to be the natural world, but for me, that is, you know, natural beauty is the best beauty as far as I'm concerned. And I always find love, answers, connections, recharging, you know, soothing energy in nature. So I prescribe that to everybody. Not that I'm a doctor, you get my point. Being kind, altruistic, and holistic this month are going to be really important things to observe. They could do wonders for your soul nourishment. If you've got pets, give them some much needed time and attention this month. You'll get so much out of it, and so will they. Complete tasks that are outstanding, close off old cycles, reach out to that friend that you keep thinking of. If this comes up for you this month, do something about it. Visit the places that you grew up. Give into nostalgia this month, but in healthy ways, right? Ways that actually feel good. So one thing that I like to do, I don't know why. One thing that I like to do is go and visit the places that I grew up in, just to see, you know, like what's happening there now, how it, like, that could be something to do, which could be great. Now, your warnings for this month: not a month for you to start anything new, I'm afraid. Not a month to press ahead with anything brand new, actually. This month will probably burn you out if you don't learn to say no, or can see resentment setting in, so be aware that that's going to be around. And then finally, you're going to need to get a handle on where you are sacrificing too much. And if you don't, you know, the way that these combine, it will probably call you out in some regard. So just be aware that that's around. And then finally, your Human Design Oracle deck cards for your new moon is the Gate 38 and Fighter. I love this card, right? So the new moon is trying to highlight to you how far you have come and just how amazing your results are going to be, providing you are in that energy of change. The full moon is trying to highlight to you, that powerful full moon, the bookend to the March new moon. The small details card, this always says to me that it's sometimes the smallest things make the biggest difference. And I think this month, around that full moon, you will become acutely aware of the smallest change that you can make that will have the biggest result or impact. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.